Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken.
Are you happy? You've been making a mess in the kitchen.
No.
So why are you happy?
It's morning and the sun's out.
Well, you got the morning right. There's no sun there.
Well, I haven't woke up yet. It's too early. Let's do a trade. And a warm welcome to one and all. If this is your first time here, I am the vocal talent that is the Scruffy Trader, in inverted commas. And sitting next to me is the sarcastic Wonderwink, who has a pop at me on a daily basis. And why? Well, in fairness, I give her plenty of ammunition. But that's not what we're here for. Then again, maybe you are. Maybe you like to see us just mess about and arse about. Because all of the videos that you ever see with me in it, or with Wink for that matter, they're never scripted. It is just us at our day job. Our day job is trading. You know, not gambling, trading. So if you want to see trading in the real world, do hit that little subscribe button, smash the like if you like the video. And if you want to see future updates, go in the description and you'll find the links to my Twitter, where it's constantly messing about. You're laughing at it.
Messing about.
Well, it is. It's I don't really do the social media thing. You know, I want to see the channel grow because I enjoy it as a hobby. But I just find a lot of like the Instagram, the Twitter, the TikTok, or I don't even know what TikTok is, to be honest. I just find it all hard work. But I don't find the charts hard work. In fact, I find them quite easy. And there was something brought to my attention today about mechanical trading and how wonderful it is, and you only have to win 30% of the time and you'll make a fortune.
Oh, you can smell the shit from 5 miles away.
What absolute bollocks. And why do I say that? Yes, I agree. You can have a low win rate if you have a massive sort of return on the risk. But how often does it happen? Not very. And the thing where mechanical systems fall down is the markets are not fixed. You know, they're dynamic. So if you try to have a 20 pip stop and it is fixed, well, what if the market spikes down 30? Take you out every time. You have to be able to read the market. Now, I'm not saying there's no rules involved, because there is. Every system is rules based, or at least it should be. There is a set of criteria that you look for and you read and you put it in. But if you think it's just X marks the spot and you're going to be retiring in a month, you literally are in la la land. This is a professional career and there's a lot more to it than just X marks the spot. Hope that makes sense. And I'm going to kind of put that to the test this morning, because as you guys know, the pair of us moderate a Discord group, which is what's on the screen now. And I was asked yesterday by Benty, little salute to you, my friend, who requested that the US tech get looked at, because we don't trade it that much. But what I do try to do for these guys is show trading in the real world, because it's always in the moment. You know, I don't believe in trading view rollback charts. Whenever I put a trade on, it is in the moment. And from the point of me pressing the button, I have as much idea if it's going to win as you do. I don't. Why? Because that's the future. The difference is I've got a fair idea of what's going to happen because I do my research. And that's something that this is all about. Now, within this, if you haven't seen it before, it's our little merriment where we have a bit of a good chat and take the mickey out of each other. Bit of a sing-song. And if we get all the way down to the bottom here, I have already done the markup for these guys well in advance of this trade. And then amongst the guys, what they do is they'll put themselves on the back when they've done well, lift each other up when they've fallen down. But then they start having a good chat about the way trades are, whether an indices trade or Forex trade or commodities trade, it don't matter. Even prop firms, if you're into prop firms, like you see me build up the 5%ers, again, it's the yin and the yang. You have those who disagree with prop firms saying, why should you pay somebody to trade? And initially I thought like that myself, but having spent a year working with the 5%ers and building up a number of accounts that you've all seen done live and showed you the statements, etc. In fact, just to put a myth to bed about prop firms not paying their money, here's my bank account. That's a deal account showing money coming in and money going out. And I can't get it any more fairer than that. And if you're interested in the 5%ers, there is a link in the description below, and you will get 5% discount off their buy-in. But if you've got limited funds, it is a way to a bigger market, and then you can use that pot of money to fund your own account and get more profit. It's all about management of trade. And that's what Morningstar is, management of trade. You know, building it up. So where was I going with this? That was right, US 100. Why aren't you keeping me on track?
It took more than me to keep you on track.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Well, you always going off in tangents.
No.
Yes, you do.
I don't. Kids don't like me going out with them. Apparently, I embarrass them as well. I don't care. Anyway, right, off we go. So what have I done? Well, every morning I put a strength sheet in. I've recently redone it to make it nice and clean to see, so you can see exactly what the strength is, what the change of strength is, and then the markets that potentially are going to be tradable on the Forex. And then I take it a step further for them, where I'll actually put in what the bias is as well. In other words, the market I'm going to look at on the given day and the direction that I'm going in, and then they can see how strong it is as well. So I've worked out it is the US 100 today, which is a buy. This gets updated as we going. I started these at 7:30 this morning, where looking at cable, that was Morningstar, that came into play. You'll see a video on that as well. The guys like the DAX, so I work out the DAX for them. And that was done roughly around the same time, and then we've just dropped this in this morning prior to what we're going to do, which is the US 100. Very, very simple way of looking at it, and so getting used to the charts, if you like. So let's get rid of that and have a little look at what's going on here. Okay, actually there's a bigger version of it if you haven't seen it. There you go. All right. So in this chart, in the breakdown, I already told them where the value points are. The value points is down this area, and it is long. So the idea is what we're seeing here. If we take this out to a daily, say all of my marks are in, this is pushing up heavily. But what goes up must come down, and there's got to be pressure releases and all of that. The theory here is it's looking to come to the tops of this lot. So it's working its way up because these are the value areas, but it is also in a value area because there was a cluster point, which was there. But it's had 3 days down, and it looks like this level is the bouncer. All right, so I'm going to wait for it to come as close to that as I can, and then look to move it up, continuing this move. Now, if I come down into the hourly, you can see it's had a good push up. It's come down. If you want, you can draw little trend lines on it. I'm not a lover of trend lines. And as it comes down, the intersection again is down this section. All right, so it just adds a little bit of weight to what we're looking at. So there's your push down, there's your move up, this is your relief, and then back up again. So that's the play I'm going to take. I'll just leave the camera running so you can watch it, and I'll drop it on a 5-minute chart where I will be fine-tuning this trade. As you can see, there is the drop, and we'll look to get in. And actually looking at this 5-minute chart, there's a nice area here. And why is that? It's the base of that and the tops of this giving a nice little zone. So once we get to there, who knows, but we're going to watch it over the course of the next hour, and then we'll get in and we'll see if we can make 50 quid out of it. Now, I'm not going to go mental with this one with sort of big position sizes because I don't trade it that much, so I'll keep my position sizes relatively small, and I'm looking at the process, not the money. All right, it's very good to put big money on, but that's just stupid at times. Sometimes you've got to be a bit sensible, and that's what I'm going to be today. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do, and I'll catch you at the end. Okay guys, kind of gonna just switch it off for now. Been working at this morning, and basically what I was trying to achieve by keeping the position small was to show you the process over the money, because I didn't want to focus on it. Now, if you're looking for 10-20 pips a day, which is all you need, you can make a salary out of 10-20 pips a day. You need a process. Now, I put one in place this morning which was to the long side, as you saw, and it never really looked back. It's been one of those days that just kept grinding up, so you've got to kind of scalp into it and be a little bit wary, because it is on the outer extreme where I wanted it to be. But it achieved what I needed it to do. I was looking for the point of ignition, and eventually it came, got my 14 pips, and the other bits was just starting to come back. Just take it out before it gets damaging too much, and then you can go back. Now, later on this afternoon, I could go back to market with this and then re-enter, because what it's done is it found this level here. We can just move this back up. It dropped down but it didn't really pull back as far as I would like. A reasonable conviction it might come back here, but it didn't. It turned away and it went back to the exact same level that I marked in. Came away again. It didn't show any signs of pushing. Then the ignition came in. But what often happens is when it bursts a level is it'll go over the top, come down, touch the level, and then go up again. That's what I was waiting for. It didn't happen. So all the signs were there that this was going to push to the top, but all the time, it's like a little niggly thing in the back of my mind saying this could pull back at any time. So the idea was just to test it. And it's another reason why I keep your positions small, because this is an uncharted market for me. I don't trade it that much, and for all the chart is a chart, certain markets have certain characteristics. You know, I kind of know cable inside out because I trade it all the time. I trade DAX all the time. I know how these things work, or I know what the limitations are, if you like. And with this, I just want it to be kid gloves, get my 10 sort of pips, if you like, and that was it. That's what I was trying to achieve. But when the ignition came in, it was reasonable to assume it's going to try and get up here, okay? Because that's what they do. They move from point to point. My inertia was up. A dotted line can always be broken, that's why it's there, whereas a solid line can hold a price. Well, there we go. And that's what happens over and over. See if I can give you an example. There you are. It's pushed down into a solid level. It's holding the price and then wallop straight back up to where it came from. Does it over and over. Holds that level down. Where did it stall for quite a while? There. Ran away from itself, came down pretty darn close to this level, which held it back, and then off on its journey. But where did it stall? Bang on the level. So levels are very, very important. And you talk to any of the scruffs in the Discord, I have quite a unique way of marking the charts up, and they'll tell you it is pretty darn close most of the time. All right, so you don't need a great deal of indicators and things like that. You genuinely don't. But if you can mark a chart, don't half help you read one. So I hope that lot makes sense for you. I genuinely do. I really did this for the Discord group, just because I like to give them value all the time, and there's no point me saying do this, that, and the t'other unless I back it up. And I back it up constantly, you know. It's all well and good putting it on a spreadsheet and one thing and another, but you need to see where that spreadsheet figures came from. And that's what these live trades are all about. It's really just, I don't know really how to put this. I don't know any other way to show you guys. I genuinely don't. I don't do signals, and I'm certainly not going to trade for anybody. You know, I'm not paid enough to do that. But what I will say is I'll kind of try and guide you, because if you're just looking for signals or somebody to trade for you, well, you're not trading, are you? You're just looking for a free ride, and there's no free rides in this world, you know. I get it all the time. Do me a discount, do me this. Why would you give me one? No, most people can't even give me the time of day, let alone anything else. So ask yourself a simple question: would you do it? And that's probably your answer. I mean, when it comes to the squad, I've got all the time in the world for them. I genuinely do. Well, I'll say 98% of them, shall we say, because you'll always get somebody who's a little bit of a plank. It's just human life.
Cheeky fuckers.
But I'm there from 6 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. And I do that Monday through Friday. And even on a weekend when I'm having my time off, if any of them contact me, they get an answer. And why? Because I want them to succeed. I genuinely do. But they need to succeed on their own. You know, nobody can do it for you. If you think you're going to buy a course off the shelf, a little bit like what we're alluding to at the beginning of this, no. What I'll do is tomorrow I'll go on the whiteboard and I'll show you all the elements you need to look at. That'll stop you buying a course. Because buying a course, to me, is a bit of a fable. You don't need to. There are plenty of places where you can get that education free. And then you need to hone your skill. Buy a strategy to kind of quick start you on your journey, I can go with. Buy a session with a mentor or a coach of some description, I can go with, because it's no different than taking a lesson off a golf coach. You might know how to swing the club, you might know how to play golf, but the lesson might make you a little bit better. That's kind of the way I look at it anyway. So I'll do that tomorrow. I'll get on the whiteboard and I'll give you some things to look at and why you need to look at them. And then just hone your skills and you'll get there. And talking of people honing their skills, are you getting there?
It's a better week than it was last week.
Better week than it was last week. But she's making the coffee this week. So she must be in a better mood, because last week she had a right cob on. She had a meltdown and everything because she lost some money. It was horrendous. Because I got it in the neck. Comes to something when you're getting it in the neck from being at home because somebody's failing at trading. What have you got to say for yourself?
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything. Right, you can redeem yourself in other ways then.
Okay. Well, the mind's an amazing organ.
I've got an amazing organ.
It's capable of far more than you'd imagine.
Right again.
That'll be the coffee then. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I think I've rabbited on quite enough. But if you take anything away from this video, it's process over money every single time. And if you're chasing money, you've already failed. So I'll leave it there. So trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.